In what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? Through my research into soap opera trailers and the conventions of such a media product, it was important to ensure that I followed the conventions correctly, therefore making my own product look professional and completed to an industry standard. I had to look into the different ways soap opera trailers were unique and recognisable, ensuring that my own piece looked like a soap opera trailer and not a film trailer. There are many ways in which my soap opera trailer conforms, develops and challenges the forms and conventions of real media products. The product itself is very closely influenced by the many trailers I have uploaded onto my blog, in particular Broadchurch and more generic soap opera trailers such as EastEnders. I have tried to incorporate the main conventions such as the soap being placed in a main setting and the use of main protagonists to guide the storyline, such as the detective. However, in many ways, my trailer challenges such conventions as they only focus on one main character at this point, as although the soap will be based around the police station as a whole, his character is the most diverse and integral to the journey of the plot. I have followed Todorov's narrative structure partly, in showing how there has been a disruption to the equilibrium and the journey the detective goes on to solve it. Another commonality featured in my trailer is the use of cliffhanger endings, as found in all trailers, to help entice audiences. The ending dialogue of the detective, "It's you," implies that the kidnapper will be someone he and the audience knows, and by his tone, this suggests the news will come as a surprise. This will therefore continue to reel in audiences, making them intrigued and impatient to find out who has committed such a crime. I've developed media forms and conventions by using new techniques and edits to create a more unique effect to my own personalised trailer. In conforming to existing soap opera products, I had to ensure that I had the right shots and pace for the trailer, including dramatic and climactic music and a fast-paced collage of images. As you can see on screen, this was some of the preparation I went through, looking into different sounds and then the images and angles that I would need to use, as well as the different mise-en-scène and then the editing itself. I needed to do each of these different things to ensure that the atmospheric tension would still be conveyed in my piece, as it was what it needed to make it feel like a proper crime soap opera. This builds up the anticipation for the audiences, and another key element of conforming to such media products was ensuring the trailer ended just right. This being with the advertisement for the broadcasting station, the show it will be aired on, and the name of the show, along with its sponsors. As you can see here, I went through a whole process of making my own logo. So with this in mind, I had to make the piece look very professional, with the audience being able to visualise the other types of products this show would be featured with, as well as the iconic imagery continuing to draw the audiences in. I also added a male voiceover to this iconic image, stating the name of the show and coming soon, again emulating industry standard pieces. Using this iconic imagery, such as ITV, I was able on Photoshop to manipulate the lettering of the logo, changing it from the infamous ITV to IPV. Therefore, although seeming similar, I wasn't breaking any copyright laws in doing so. I also used subtitles during the ending of my piece, thus developing the storyline more and again adding the tension, such as my previous examples have done in their trailers, such as Broadchurch. Another convention that I conformed to was the need for the character's backstory, to make audiences more emotionally connected to the characters on screen. To introduce this properly into the trailer, I added a few shots of the detective drinking from a flask. This was helping to show his alcoholism, as well as a shot of him opening a locket which features his wife and stepdaughter. These images should then intrigue audiences into believing that the detective has a troubled background and making them sympathise with his journey and story. Challenging such media conventions was the use of the subgenre that this category fell into and preconceived notions regarding them. Normally, such crime shows, such as mine, which wishes to emulate, would only be aired as a TV drama, coming on in series for a few times a year. My soap opera would differ from this, as although it was crime-based, it will be a long-running show, being on weekly, with various days in the week, such as Emmerdale, Coronation and EastEnders all emulate. In such ways, I have also developed on the conventions already in place with TV dramas and adapted them to the conventions of long-running soap operas. With such a subgenre being so popular nationally and internationally, I felt that this type of show was long overdue, this view being adopted by my audiences too. By conforming, challenging and developing these soap opera conventions, I have managed to make a professional looking product in keeping with the main conventions of the soap opera genre, however adding unique twists to the storyline and the subgenre so as to make the piece more personal and individualistic.